Hello everyone, my name is Yilin Yang. Today I will introduce Ipvjs to you. It is a really tool in Python. There are 4 parts in my presentation. The first part is the installation of Ipvjs. The second part is the introduction, and the third part is widget list. I will introduce a list of widgets here. The last part is about using layout templates. So let's start with installation. Users can install the current version of Ipvjs with pip or conda. In most cases, installing the Python Ipvjs package will also automatically configure classic Jupyter Notebook and Jupyter Lab 3.0 to display Ipvjs. With pip, you can do like this, and for conda, you can do like this. The second part is about the introduction. So what are widgets? Widgets are eventful Python objects that have a representation in the browser, often as a control like a slider, text box, etc. What can they be used for? You can use widgets to build interactive GUIs for your notebooks. You can also use widgets to synchronize stateful and stateless information between Python and JavaScript. When using Jupyter Notebook to analyze data, it is very inefficient to run the code in the same cell over and over again. Nevertheless, as you do this, such as choosing different values for functions, choosing different date ranges for analysis, and even adjusting the theme of the chart, this is not only inefficient, but also frustrating and disrupts the process of the exploratory data analysis. Ipvjs can transform Jupyter Notebook from a static document into an interactive dashboard, greatly improving the efficiency of data analysis. Next is widget list. Let's start with numeric widgets. There are many widgets distributed with Ipvjs that are designed to display numeric values. Widgets exist for displaying integers and floats, both bounded and unbounded. The integer widgets share a similar naming scheme to their floating point counterparts. By replacing float with int in the widget name, you can find the integer equivalent. First one is int slider. As you can see, you can set the value of the result here, and the minimum value, maximum value, and the step. Here I set the step is 1. You can see we can adjust the result here. And if you change step to 2, you can see it change. Here is only 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And if you change the horizontal to vertical, yeah, you can see the change here. And the next one is float slider. It's similar to the int slider. The difference is just the result can be shown in float. You can see here. And if you change the step here to 0.3, here you can also see the change here. And the float log slider is also very similar to the first 2. And next one is Intrinsic Slider. Here you can set the range of the result. Here I set the range from 5 to 7, and you can adjust here. Yeah, and the float range slider is also like this. Next one is int progress. Here, nothing special here. You can just see the code and the result here. And the float progress. Next one is bounded int text. Here you can, it's a different way to adjust the result from int slider. You can change the result here. Let's click here. And bounded float text is also like this. Here is int text. The difference between bounded int text and the int text. You can see you can change the number with without limit, but here you can only change the number to 10. Here's the maximum value and the minimum value is 0. But here you can change whatever you want. And the float text is also like this. Next part is about Boolean widgets. There are 3 widgets that are designed to display a Boolean value. The first one is to-go button. The to-go button, nothing special you need to pay attention to. Just see here. You can see the description here, click and go, and you can click the button here. Next one is checkbox. For checkbox, value specifies the value of the checkbox intent parameter, places an intended checkbox. Aligned with other controls, options are true or false, and the default value are false. You can click here. Yes, that's the result. And next one is valid. Valid widget provides a read-only indicator. As you can see, you can do nothing to the result because it's read-only. Next part is about selection widgets. There are several widgets that can be used to display single selection lists and 2 that can be used to select multiple values, all inherit from the same base classes. You can specify the enumeration of selectable options by passing a list. The first one is drop down. As you can see, when you set the options here and the beginning value, you can see the result here. You can change it like this, 1, 2, 3. The following is auto valid, displaying the words 1, 2, 3 as the drop-down choices, but returning the values 1, 2, 3. Next one is radio buttons. Here's nothing special. You can just see the result here. And when the item's name are too long, you can set this code here. Yeah, you can see the name here is too long. It's the longest name, so I set this code here. And if I delete this code here, you can see the result. You have to find the name here. Yeah. So if the name is too long, you can set the code here. Next one is select. It's also used to display single section lists. You can set the options here, and the beginning value is here. Yeah, nothing special. And next one is selection slider. You can set the description here. I like my eggs, and the options is here. If you like, I like my eggs sunny side up, you can set the value here, or poached over easy. And next one is selection range slider. You can select a range of values. The value index and label keys are 2 tuples of the min and max values selected. The options must be non-empty. Here I set the date time from January to February. You can see the result here. January to July, June to December. Next one is to-go buttons. The difference between to-go button is here are more than 1 buttons created. Here you can set the color of the options. Here, if I change standard to info, you can see the color is like a kind of green. If I change it to success, it's a green. Next one is select multiple. Press Ctrl when selecting multiple options can be selected. Multiple values can be selected with Shift or Ctrl pressed and mouse clicks or arrow keys like this. If I press Ctrl when I select, you can select multiple values here. The next part is about string widgets. There are several widgets that can be used to display a string value. The text area, and the combo box widgets accept input. The HTML and the HTML math widgets display a string as HTML. The label widget can be used to construct a custom control label. The first is text. You can input here. And for text area, the difference between text and text area is here you have a larger space to input your text. You have many spaces to use here. The next one is combo box. One thing about text area is the placeholder attribute specifies a short hint that describes the expected value of the text area. The short hint is displayed in the text area before the user enters a value. And for combo box, it also displays a single selection list. You can see the options here. But if you want to choose a new one, you have to delete this one and choose a new one here. Next one is password. The password widget has user input on the screen. This widget is not a secure way to collect sensitive information because the contents of the password widget are transmitted and encrypted. If the widget state is saved in the notebook, the content of the password widget is stored as plain text. Yeah, that's about it. Nothing special. And next one is label. The label widget is useful if you need to build a custom description text next to a control using similar styling to the built-in control descriptions. Here is a function E equals MC square, M times P square. And next one is HTML. It's nothing special. Also for the HTML math, because you can do nothing to change the result here. It's read only. And next one is image. You can set the width and the height of the image and also the format. You change it to PNG. But you cannot see the difference here, but the format has been changed here. Next one is button. Here you can see, you can just change the button style here and nothing else. And for play, you can, it's just like a music player here. You can see the changes here. and maybe it's a change of the value. Next one is date picker. You can set the date here from year, month, and date. From year, month, day. That's the order. And next one is color picker. It's very similar to the widget before. You can select your color here, like this. But the beginning value is blue, so you cannot see the name here. And for file upload, you can use this button to upload something, like this. The file upload allows to upload any type of files into memory in the kernel. And the next one is controller. The controller allows a game controller to be used as an input device. But here I can do nothing. And next one is box. It's the box, Hbox and Vbox here are very similar. And for grid box, you can make a big layout here, a bigger layout here. This box uses the HTML grid specification to layout its children in 2-dimensional grid. The example below lays out the 8-item inset in 3 columns and as many rows as needed to accommodate items, as you can see. And next one is a question. In this example, the children are set after the tab is created. Titles for the tabs are set in the same way they are for a question. And here also I change. You can set the text here and adjust the number here. And for tabs, you can set the tab contents here. Here's the P0, P1, P2, P3, P4, and you can input text here. And the last one of the third part is about linking two similar widgets. If you link float text and float slider together, you can see here, if I just adjust the number here, and here also a change. Okay, the last part is about using layout templates. Here you can see a combination of some layout we talked about before. You can easily create a layout with 4 widgets arranged on 2x2 matrix using the 2x2 layout widget. Like here, you can see the firstly I defined a function like this, created expanded button, and I got the top left button, top right button, bottom left button, and bottom right button. Then import 2x2 layout and got the result: top left, top right, bottom left, bottom right. If you don't define a widget for some of the slots, the layout will automatically reconfigure itself by merging neighboring cells, just like this. Here, as you can see, here is no top right button, so it was merged automatically. But you can pass merge equals false in the argument of the 2x2 layout constructor if you don't want this behavior, just like this. And you can also add a missing widget even after the layout initialization. Here is an example. You can see it's here, and if I set the code, run the code here, got this. It was changed. You can also use the linking feature of widgets to update some property of a widget based on another widget, just like this. Just like we talked about before, the linking of two similar widgets, top left, bottom left, and top right, bottom right. And you can easily create more complex layouts with custom widgets. For example, you can use bqplot figure widget to add plots. Here is an example. As you can see, I got a graph here. If I change the minimum value here, the graph will change like this. And for the maximum value, like this. And next is about app layout. App layout is a widget layout template that allows you to create an application-like widget arrangements. It consists of a header, a footer, two sidebars, and a central pane. However, with the automatic merging feature, it's possible to achieve many layouts. Here is an example of app layout. And if you change everything to none, you can only get this result here, only a center button. And you can also modify the relative and absolute width and height of the panes using pane width and pane height. Yeah, here is example. You can see the pane width and pane height. Both accept a sequence of 3 elements, each of which is either an integer or a string. You can see the difference here because I changed the pane size and pane height. And the last one is grid spec layout. Grid spec layout is a N by M grid layout, allowing for flexible layout definitions using an API similar to Matplotlib's grid spec. Here is an example here. You can use grid spec layout to define a simple regularly spaced grid. For example, to create a 4x3 layout, then set the code like this and run. Got it. To make a widget span several columns or rows, you can use slice notation. So the last part is about grid spec layout. Grid spec layout is an N by M grid layout, allowing for flexible layout definitions using an API similar to Matplotlib's grid spec. You can use grid spec layout to define a simple regular spaced grid. For example, to create a 4x3 layout, you can use this code, and you got this layout here. This button from 0, 0 to 3, 2. And you can use to make a widget span several columns or rows. You can use slice notations like this. And one thing you have to note is it's enough to pass an index of one of the grid cells occupied by the widget of interest. Slices are not supported in this context. And you can also change the result using this code after the initialization. And if there is already a widget that conflicts with the position of the widget being added, it will be removed from the grid. Finally, I want to show you a combination of grid layout and BQ plot and Numpad. You can see we got a graph like this. And this is just a kind of way to combine the layout with other library. And you got this graph. Maybe you can find some more ways to use the widgets better. So that's all about my presentation. Thank you.